CGTN, see the difference. Hello everyone, I'm Jinghao, coming to you live from the city of Dali in southwest China's Yunnan province. The live stream today is part of our special coverage, China Holiday Live. During the week-long holiday, National Day holiday, our CGTN will bring you to different cities popular with tourists to feel the atmosphere of the holiday and to learn about local culture. And where I am now is called Xizhou. It's an ancient town of Dali city and also a must-see site in the city. And the holiday is actually coming to an end, but we can see this place is still bustling with tourists from different parts of the country. And to learn more about this beautiful town, today I'm very honored to be joined by our special guest, Mr. Brian Linden.
Thank you, Yan Lao.
Hello,
Thank you.
Brian.
Nice
Great
to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Hey, friends.
Great to have you with the CGTN. We know that this place is called Xizhou, right?
Right.
In Chinese, the character Xi actually means happy.
Happy, exactly.
Yeah, I know that you have lived here for about 20 years, right?
20 years in this
20 years,
village.
yeah. So you are very familiar with this place, and I know that you call this place your spiritual hometown, right?
Yes, yes.
So tell us, do you think it's a happy place?
Of course it is. In fact, we chose this place after looking, after having been in China through the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to move to a place that had this kind of this warmth, this hospitality, like this 有朋自远方来，不亦乐乎. I feel that every day in this village. And I feel that kind of Kongzi, Confucian saying is still so important in many of the rural parts of China, especially in a place like the Happy Village here.
Yeah, you're absolutely, you used to be a friend from afar, and now I think you.
They make me feel very much like a local, definitely.
Yeah. And where we are standing is called Sifangjie.
Yeah.
I know that this place used to be the center of this old town, right?
Right, exactly. And you can see that during the past 20 years, the people have restored these buildings to how they would have looked like probably 100 years ago. There was at one time a building that was a 3-story building from the 70s there. And everybody is trying to restore this feeling of how Xizhou really existed. And now you can see it attracts people from all over the world.
Yes, and behind us, I noticed there's a Qimingfa, a memorial arch.
Yes.
Yeah, and what's it about Qimingfa? I noticed there's some names carved on this.
This is mainly this is to remember and to memorialize some of the Xizhou residents who have been scholars in the past or famous merchants. So this is almost like the Xizhou Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So we know that actually Xizhou is a place where the Bai ethnic Bai people's culture has been carefully preserved, right?
Yes.
So I guess there are a lot to see, to experience here.
Yeah, I'd love to show you a little more, okay?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, let's get started start our journey.
So this is still the heart of the city. Heading to the south, you will go to the morning market, the vegetable market, which is still so vibrant. And every day we get our food there, and buy everything.
Interesting.
Oh, it's so good. And excuse me, Ottoman, ni hao. Hey, and this is, how are you?
Hello.
We even have frogs in Xizhou.
Yeah.
So this also is a gate to commemorate also those who passed the famous scholars of Xizhou.
Hanlin Gate.
So this was a famous gate. But many of the people here are so friendly, and they just kind of, I walk back and forth between our sites, and I say hello to, 100 people a day,
It's just that you have a lot of friends here.
It's really nice. Every day I get my food from them. Hey, 老板，我最喜欢吃什么？ fried rice with mint.
With mint. Oh, that
yes.
sounds special.
And egg.
Yeah, we noticed that there are a variety of snacks along the streets, right?
Oh, so
Wow,
many.
so many. Yeah.
So as we're going here, we're heading to the north. This road at one time was part of the famous Tea Horse Road. So the horses used to, Chama Gudao, used to come right down here, right down the road. So many of these stores, in some way, used to cater to those caravans. So now they cater more to the tourism.
Yeah. So actually, this place has, the Dali city has has a unique dietary culture, right?
Yes.
Very special snacks, very special.
I can show you right here. Sorry to interrupt, but this is our famous Xizhou Baba.
Oh, right.
So Xizhou Baba is a type of special bread.
Yeah, this is Xizhou Baba, right?
Hey. So this is very famous, the Xizhou Baba, and some people claim that it was influenced by Mongols who had been here early and had created, but they call it Xizhou pizza.
It's something we must try in Xizhou, right?
You should. And there is sweet, which is made with rose petal jam, and there is salty, which is made with pork and everything.
Yeah. So you first came to China in 1984 as an exchange student, right?
Yes.
And you came back about 20 years later.
Yeah, I stayed that first time and just fell in love with China. And but I felt that in order to come back to China, I wanted to be able to contribute something, not just my passion, but also skills. So in 2004, we felt I had worked in education investment around the world, and I felt that I wanted to come back here and let this tell the story of China as well.
And you finally chose Xizhou to
We
settle
chose
down.
Xizhou, yes. There's Su Laoshi.
Yeah, there's a...
Su Laoshi.
Hello.
Do you
So
know
we have
him?
a lot to taste and we have a lot to experience like this. I know that many traditional crafts have been well preserved here, right?
Yes.
Many of them have been listed as intangible cultural heritage items, right? Like this one, right? Hello.
So Su Laoshi is my brother, see?
哎，苏老师你好。
我们的发型都一样。
Same hairstyle.
Su Laoshi, 你好。
So it's a clay sculpture, right?
Yes, these are very interesting because regionally around this area, they often would put these cats on the top of their roofs, and they are supposed to repel negative energy or bad spirits.
Yeah. Evil spirits.
Evil
right? To drive
spirits.
Evil spirit. 苏老师，这个叫在咱们这个
这是我们白族的瓦猫，
叫瓦猫是吧？
Yeah.
Tile
roof, yeah, like roof tile cat or something.
Tile cat. Yeah, usually placed on the rooftop.
On the
right?
rooftop, yes.
Wow.
猫的话，在我们白族这边，白族是用来镇宅、招财纳福。
啊，招财。
然后我们白族的话，就用个瓦猫来教育我们小孩子怎么做人、怎么做事。
哦，
就说是你看，其实像
delicate.
像我们大理的瓦猫，它讲的是呢，这边称为天时地利人和。为什么每一个瓦猫的人和做的特别高？就是白族的长辈说的嘛，小孩子他从小跟着好人就学好了，就跟着坏人学坏掉了。
然后瓦猫它有不同的造型，
对，
是吧？
有不同造型，它就是其实它的每个地方都代表着一定的寓意。你看像它的鼻子啊，我们称它为天赐母骨啊，意思就是说是我们的生命是父母给予的，我们要孝顺父母，孝顺长辈，就它的鼻子叫天赐母骨。它的眼睛呢，中为日，外为月，两个眼睛呢代表着我们一天的日出而作，日落而息，一天的生活自然规律。
Yeah. They have different types.
They have different types, exactly. And I think that this represents so much of this traditional wisdom in China.
Yes.
That I feel that's originally why we chose Xizhou is because I felt that these stories need to be told to the outside world as well.
Yes.
That this is part of China's, this 5,000-year-old culture.
Yeah.
And I feel that we need ways of sharing this. There's still so much cool, COOL, so many cool things here. And I think that Su Laoshi represents such an important part of
Yeah,
this.
he's a master of this.
He's a master.
Craftsmanship, and I think, yeah, as you just mentioned, this actually shows local people's wisdom.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
and aesthetics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we really love, most of our guests just love the traditional.
苏老师，其实现在也可以，就好多游客来也可以体验制作，是吧？
因为像我们这边的话，我们就是每天有好多游客来可以自己亲手做一个自己的瓦猫。因为在喜洲的话，我这边有个点，然后还在那个林老师的隔壁。
对。
那宝泽府旁边，我有一个那个泥人书瓦猫小院，那个小院每天有好多人过来参观打卡，过来体验瓦猫特别多。
很多游客也很感兴趣。
对对，非常感兴趣。
So today the tourists can also experience how to make such special cats.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
exactly.
Many tourists just show great interest in this. Yeah, yeah. We can take a look. Just show a little bit around. Yeah, these are
the same, but he's making them now smaller, so people can also take a part of this culture back home with them. They won't put them on their roof. They will put them on their desks, and it's a way of remembering these traditions.
Yeah, exactly. I think I will take one after our live stream.
Yeah, I think they're so cool.
Yeah, we can see that some tourists are also experiencing how to make the special cat.
Hello.
Where are you from, please?
Shanghai.
Shanghai.
Yeah.
Is this your first time to visit Xizhou?
Yes.
Wow. So how do you like this place?
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So you are bringing your children here to experience this.
Yes.
traditional craft?
Yes. Yes.
How do you like
Your
it?
English is so good.
Yeah.
Do you like this, Jojo? Do you like this?
Do you like this?
Do you like it?
跟他说 hello，
do you
Hello.
find it difficult to make such?
Yeah,
Cat?
a little bit.
A little bit?
We just started.
Ah, you start to learn, right?
Yeah. It's our first time.
Okay. Do you
Wow,
enjoy it?
very good.
I think my son prefer it.
Okay. It's a special experience, right?
Cool.
yeah.
很好。
hello，
Hello. How do you like it?
yeah very nice，
Very
yeah
nice.
very nice，
Your English is so good.
wow， just so
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Enjoy your
Thank
stay
you,
in
guys.
Xizhou. Thank you.
再见。
，thank you，
再见 huh?
拜拜，
Bye bye. Okay, let's move on.
See, bye bye. Thank you.
Actually, we apart from this, there are a lot to see, to experience, right? Such as what have impressed me a lot is the Zharan,
Yeah, the Zara.
Thai
Exactly.
dyeing, a very traditional.
苏老师，谢谢您。
谢谢您，苏老师. Thank you. Zharan is a very traditional staining technique.
Yes,
right?
it is.
With a long streak. And actually, the shirt I'm wearing today is just made with this technique.
And my shirt too, even though it's not made with Zaran, but it does
special.
represent the local traditions.
Yeah, I know there's a museum nearby, right?
There is a museum, and I'd
Where
love
we
to show
can,
you.
To see a lot more, to experience more, right?
Yes.
How about we go in there?
Of
Take a
course.
look.
But as you can see, here's some more Xizhou Baba.
Yeah, Xizhou Baba. And,
Xizhou Baba Da Wang.
and these beautiful rose
Petals.
Guess what they are used for?
They make them into sugar, and
Yeah.
like it becomes a sweet paste.
We know Yunnan is an ideal place to grow different flowers,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And people in Yunnan and in Dali have the habit of eating flowers, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
I
so-
like them.
Yeah.
They're really good.
你好，这些鲜花是要用来做成什么？
鲜花饼的，
鲜花饼是吧？鲜花饼的馅是吧
是鲜花饼的馅啊。
？So these petals, these beautiful petals, they smell so fragrant.
It does smell so
Yeah, they
good.
will be made into stuffing for a special cake.
Exactly. So they make
And-
their own cakes in here.
Yeah, and we know
They
the
ship them all over the country.
yeah, the flower cake. Such flower cake is one of the most symbolic specialties in the whole Yunnan province. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Is there some bees? Okay, let's move on.
Hey, whoop.
Let's go to
The museum, huh?
yeah, 酱至集 is called,
Yes, exactly.
right? So, what's the place about?
It's really about the local traditions and crafts, and it's a way of preserving that traditional the wisdom that went into some of the, not just the art crafts, but even how to make the houses, how to do. So this is a wonderful museum.
Oh.
And I know that most of our guests will come here and spend, a good number of hours just viewing it, and yeah, quite nice. So in many ways the locals have been so good at developing these kind of.
I noticed that they use an exhibition hall to show the Jama print.
Yes, this is Jama.
This is just Jama, right?
Yes.
Tell us more about it. It looks so special.
Jama is a type of, it was originally made with woodblock. It's almost a woodblock printing. But what they use the printed paper for is they take them to the temples, and they will often use them for sacrifice or for burning or for sharing. And here you can see many of them here. So for me, I really love this tradition, the woodblock printing.
Yeah.
But this is, do you want to go into this one, or you want to go into the second museum?
How about we go into the second one? Yeah.
Okay.
So we know that Dali is home to the vast majority of ethnic Bai people, right?
Right.
So what do you find most fascinating about this community for you?
I feel that the Bai people have always been at a kind of a crossroads, cultural crossroads and trade crossroads. And as you know, that even in Yunnan, we have 25, 26 ethnic groups.
Right.
So I find because of that, they're incredibly hospitable. And I feel that very inclusive. So that I feel there isn't a separation between me as an American coming here and the locals. They treat me just like I came across the mountains. And I find this is so special. So I really find their hospitality to be dui warda. We can. Do you want to go on this way, or?
Either way is okay, right? How about this
Okay.
way?
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's the bigger roof tiles there. See the cats? So those are the ones that they would usually use on the tops of the roofs.
Yeah. Okay, here we arrive at this museum.
So it's really nice. They've created their own
This place displays
crafts. It's so nice.
all kinds of handmade stuffs.
Yeah, they really have such a great sense of aesthetics.
Yeah.
Hey, 老板你好。
Hello.
你好。
你好。
老板你好，你好。
哦，这那个可以体验扎染的地方是吧？
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, this is a space where people can experience the dyeing, 扎染, right?
Yeah. And I think like here you can kind of see, right? What has happened is this has already been tied. So they take the cotton and then they put a trace on it. Do you think they will show us how they do that? Or?
Maybe. 你可以跟我们简单介绍一下，就是一般做这个扎染，就是是很复杂吗？有多少个步骤？大概 How many steps？
其实还好，就是扎染的话，你们听名字就知道，它就是先扎起来，对，然后拿去染色啊。扎的话一般就是
扎是一个什么过程？
对，它有2种方式。第一种的话，它是用针线缝，就是针扎；另一种它就是用线去绑。就是线扎，就是有这种2种方式啊。它扎住的地方，对，扎住的地方它就是白色的，没有扎住的它就是蓝色的。
It's interesting.
It's so neat.
Yeah.
So what happens is, look at how complicated that is.
Yeah.
Just to do that.
对，这块它是一块桌布啊。它是叫做那个大理下，其实是我们一个创新的方式和一个传统的方式结合在一起啊。 我们那个最传统的话，它就是用针线缝，它中间它就是用针线缝的，然后它的4个角就是我们用线这样随意的绑上去的。
哦
对，然后它扎住的它就是那个白色的。
Yeah, they can
对，没有扎住的它就
either
是蓝色。
embroider,
Yes, yes.
embroider it, or
Exactly.
just tie
Just tie it.
it right
对，
But
然后这块
before
布啊，它
dyeing the
打
cloth.
开了之后，它其实是
就是这个, huh?
对，它就是这个。你们
So
可以
just
看一
think
下
this is what it will be when it's
Yeah.
opened.
对，你们可以看一下。
And what they use is they use the indigo
Indigo, right?
plant to get the
Yeah,
blues.
The dye stuff
So
is
the indigo is like this.
这是主要的颜料吗？
对，
这是板蓝根是吗
板蓝根？
对，板蓝根它是
Wow.
板蓝根啊。
Yeah, take a look at this kind of
这个不是板
plant.
蓝根。
哦，这
哦，
是
这个是板蓝根。
这是板蓝根。
这个是
This-
什么？
这个它是一个野草，它是叫紫金子的蓝。
This is the main, one of the most widely used dye stuff, right?
In the world.
板蓝根
Yes. We
it's
say indigo.
indigo, yeah.
And
Isatis root, I think maybe it's called.
Okay, could be. We just call
Yeah.
it. And what happens is that, you can also drink
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
It's some people believe it's very,
Yeah.
very healthy.
所以这个主要的一个染料
对
是吧？
主要的染料是板
Wow,
蓝根
that's
对
interesting. Yeah, very beautiful. 我们有那个染的可以看一下吗？
可以在那个。
那边是吧？Let's go to check out how
How they do the dyeing. Huh?
Yeah.
这边.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello，您好。
嘿，你好。
这里就是染色的区域啊。
Oh. First, people will embroider the cloth, and then they will dye. Yeah, the
Yes.
embroidered cloth here. 这就是那个板蓝根做的那个。
做的，它发酵之后的一个染液啊。
So it's fascinating.
Yeah, and we know that this craft has been listed as a national intangible cultural
Yes,
heritage
yes.
item. Yeah. And the history can be traced back to the Tang Dynasty, as
Yes.
far as I know. Wow. And I noticed that the clothes made with this technique are very popular here in Xizhou.
They're very popular in
Yeah.
Dali,
Yeah.
everywhere, yes.
Many tourists would
really
buy
like
a
it.
piece, a
And
dress.
they use some of them are used cotton, and some use also hemp. So they really are. They're very good for this weather here, because the weather here is quite comfortable, isn't it?
Yeah. 谢谢. Thank you.
谢谢你们.
Okay.
Thank you. So this is a very popular place for our guests. We recommend everyone to come here and just visit and to participate in some of the crafts. They also do other crafts here. So it's it can be a whole day you could spend here.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah. So we just mentioned that actually Xizhou is getting increasingly popular with tourists. It has become a must-see site in Dali.
Yes.
So there are a lot more to see, to experience here, right, today.
I think there's so much to experience, and we can only taste a little bit. but I would like to take you as well to Yunnan
Yeah.
to see one of
Yeah.
because that's a national heritage site.
Yeah, and that's a cultural project you're operating
Yes.
here in Dali.
That's
Yeah.
what brought us to Xizhou,
Yes.
is when we first started to do
Yeah.
that project.
Can't wait to see it.
We now have 3 buildings in Xizhou, and each of them has a slightly different function. And we also have an education site here, where people from schools from around the world come to Xizhou to learn this stuff, because they feel it has so much value, the crafts, the local culture, the local history. So they will spend 1 month at a time, 4 months at a time in this village, just being with the people and learning from them.
It's quite a unique experience. You just mentioned that you have apart the projects here in Xizhou, you also have some other cultural projects, Linden Center, in other cities,
Yes, we
right?
do.
And you have one in Shangri-La.
We do, right? And we're doing more there. But what the projects are, our hotels are in many ways our social enterprise. We do the hotels, and it gives us an opportunity to hire a lot of local people,
Yes.
maybe help the economy.
Yes.
But at the same time, we really want to do things like this, like we just saw. How do we tell the locals the stories?
Yes.
How do we share them with the world?
Yeah.
And so in many ways, we're trying to develop these platforms that will allow the world to see the cultural richness of Yunnan.
Yeah, we just mentioned that actually Dali is home to ethnic Bai people.
Right.
And Yunnan is well known for its ethnic diversity, and there are a total of 25 ethnic groups.
We walk this way, okay?
Yeah, this way.
Yeah.
25 ethnic groups
Yes.
In the province. I know that you have traveled across the province.
Oh,
So how do
yes.
how do you see China's effort to promote ethnic unity?
Well, I think ethnic unity is not a problem. I mean, I have never sensed anywhere in Yunnan where it has not been promoted well and accepted by all. But, and I think I exemplify that. I am not one of China's 55, 56 minorities, but I am accepted as if I were. And that's part of I think the hospitality of the Chinese people.
Yeah.
Here in Yunnan, I find that, the local people are increasingly trying to share their traditions. And there are economic reasons for that. As you can see, this has become so popular.
Yes.
And it can improve their lifestyles by sharing. I mean, almost everything here has something to do with local.
Yeah.
So that means that just think all these people who come here every day now. There was nobody here when I first came. There were no
Right.
shops. And now
Wow.
look at this.
Yeah.
And just think of the financial benefits being brought into the community now.
So speaking of this, actually Dali is the city is one of the most sought after destinations for tourists in China, right?
Right.
And do you see more tourists coming back following after the COVID-19 control policy was adjusted late
Yes,
last
yes.
year?
Oh, well, of course, yeah. In fact, I think maybe too many people are coming. It's getting so busy. So I think that's always going to be the struggle and the challenge for us in China is how do we keep a balance
Yes.
of preserving this, but then also attracting outsiders with things they're familiar with.
Yes, actually, this is what I want to ask you. From your perspective, do you think the influx of visitors and business people from outside will have an impact on the indigenous culture?
Yes, yes. It
So how
has
can we
already.
balance
I don't know how
development
we
and
can do
protection?
that. It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so difficult because, I really feel that in many ways in China, the government really wants to bring financial benefits to everyone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this also represents something that goes beyond just financial.
Yes.
There's a cultural value to this. So we need to also take care of it.
Yeah.
And it may not be financially so, profitable, but
Yeah.
yeah. So this is things that I know this balance, but look at how busy this is. I mean, it's it's kind of, I live here in Xizhou, so this is my home. So when I see so many people, it's a little bit different.
Yes.
But if I were for businesses, they are doing so much better. And so that's also very good.
So I think one important thing is that we should involve local people into the development
I think it's really
yeah,
important.
The tourism development.
I mean, you can look here. You know, this is a local. She is from. This is a local. So they are trying. And what I think we need to do is realize that development has occurred in coastal China.
Yes.
And some of the old towns have been very successful, like Wuzhen and Fenghuang and Pingyao.
Yeah.
But maybe we should, these kind of old towns here, maybe we should really take the advice, try to get the locals to incorporate into this so that not all the shops are run by outsiders like me. But train them so that they themselves can have the most financial benefits and also the pride of leading the development in their own village.
Yeah. And I know that is what you are trying to do.
It's what I'm trying to do. These people are, so they call me the Cunzhang, you know, the mayor of Xizhou, because I'm trying so hard to just I want the locals to be proud. I want them to realize that we don't need to change our clothes to have people come visit us. You know, Xizhou 20 years ago seduced me and attracted me after 100 countries I've traveled to. I think it can attract anyone. This is starting to make it very, very hard to.
This is an iconic architecture.
Very iconic building. The round building, yeah. It's quite nice, and everybody wants to take a photo here. So often this is the busiest. This is like Waimao in Beijing, you know, San Juan and Wan.
Okay.
So yeah, it was even busier, you know, a few days ago. As you said earlier, this is the visitors are all leaving. So they're all going back after the holiday. So, but even today, it's still very, very crowded, isn't it?
Yes. I know that there is a special event in Xizhou days ago, a grand event to celebrate the harvest, right?
Yes, the harvest. It was a rice harvest. So we so the rice harvest happened up ahead here, and yeah, so we started to harvest some of it, but it hasn't all been harvested yet. Here it is right here.
Wow.
So there are about 3,000 mu of land.
Vast rice paddy.
And there is the first Linden Center is right over there. So when we first, came here 20 years ago, there was nothing. 10 years ago, there was only one coffee shop in Xizhou.
Yeah, I noticed there are a lot of coffee shops along the street, right?
Yeah, so many coffee shops.
This one is popular, Mai Tian coffee, rye coffee, something. Wow.
So there is, but this is where we did the rice festival a few days ago. Oh, be careful.
This vast rice field is very popular.
This is also such an iconic scene.
Yeah, a lot of people coming here to take photos.
So, and you can see our building. It makes such a beautiful backdrop.
Yes.
To the rice fields. Hello. 老板你好。
When is the best time to appreciate, to enjoy the...
Every day is the best time. Every day I love it.
April is the best time.
I really love the winter here. Because even in the winter in Dali and Xizhou, the temperatures get up to 15 degrees. And there's very little rain. So that you sit in the sun and you could take your shirt off. So even in winter it's that way. So it's so special.
Wow. So you can see actually the farming, the agricultural tradition has also been well preserved here in Xizhou, right?
It is.
Have you ever participated in any farming activities here? Experienced
Yes,
any?
yes, of course.
Like what?
Well, of course, we did all the rice, the planting
Planting rice?
the harvesting of rice.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
So we've always participated in that.
And I learned from the local government that they are trying to integrate, the agricultural elements, the farming culture into the tourism development.
It's really,
Yeah.
I think it's important because the government has taken on a big burden. This kind of, because they're doing it more or less organically. So this is all organic. Because of that, the costs are very, very high. So this has all been taken on by the government to preserve this.
So it's really a nice place. I mean, here people can watch, can see a lot of traditional things, can see these agricultural things, something, and even there.
So even now, some younger artists are now coming to places like Xizhou and Dali, and they're looking for inspiration for future works. So with this Xizhou and Dali, this kind of lifestyle, it allows them to slow down a bit, and it allows them to be inspired by the scenery, by the local people, and I think that it starts to influence their work. So that's very nice. And I hope that we'll see. It's it's always interesting to have more artists.
So having lived here, you first came to China about
1984,
about 40 years ago.
Yeah. Do you remember me in 40 years ago?
So from your experience, from your observation, what kind of changes have China experienced over the past 4 decades? What have impressed you most?
You know that it's so easy to say the financial benefits. This has all changed.
Yeah.
The people's lives have improved so much, without a doubt. The Fupin, poverty alleviation, the Xiangsun Zhenxin, these have been incredibly successful. I have observed it. I've been in rural China most of my life. But what I think is so important, and I think the world should also embrace this, is the idea China's ideas have changed. You are informed about the world. Most Chinese know more about the outside world than the outside world knows about China, by far.
Yes.
And I just feel that in some way we should realize that, this has been, because 40 years ago, nobody knew it. Nobody had been abroad. And so this is so exciting in such a short period of time to have this kind of change. So I would always argue that one of the most remarkable changes is the people of China who have become incredibly global and have embraced the world and embraced me like a family member.
Yeah.
So this is one of our sites.
Yeah. Linden Center.
Hello. Thank you for coming.
It's it's in a former
merchant's home.
Yangpi,
Yang
right?
Yes. And it's also, you can see it's such a famous building. So
why do you call it Linden Center, not Linden Hotel something? Because
that's
it's
really
actually
important.
A boutique hotel, right?
Yeah, because the center itself is in my heart, I wanted it to be a social enterprise. The idea of I was going to preserve a building. I invested $600,000 20 years ago to preserve this building.
Wow.
But that was only the first small step. How do we use a building? How do we interact with the local community? How do we tell this story to the outside world? How do we get outside people to come here? And this was always the most important mission for this project.
We can see it's carefully preserved.
Yes.
What makes the architecture, the dwellings of by people special?
Well, I mean, even in the first courtyard here,
Yeah.
this we have this building is almost 3/4 of an acre, so really big. This is only the first courtyard.
And I know that this wall is very special.
This is a reflecting wall. So what happens is usually on the east side of every courtyard, the first courtyard, they will have a white reflecting wall. And this has a function. There's a purpose for that. And that purpose is to reflect back the afternoon sun
there are no
into
windows,
the
right?
living quarters. So this is where the former boss used to live. This is, the merchant. And this allows it to reflect back the light because the first story has no windows.
Yeah.
And so what happens, the second story
So
does.
it's functional.
And also in the winter, it reflects back some of the warmth into those living areas. So it's so special. And you can see on the reflecting wall, I don't know if you see even up above there, you see porcelain from Jinghao. Do you see up in the corner, there? There's on the two corners there and there.
Yeah.
陶瓷.
Yeah.
So this
It's
is
from Jinghao, right?
Yeah, so that reflects also how the locals viewed coastal Chinese culture, traditional Chinese culture, how much they valued it, that they felt they would put Jinghao plates into their architecture. It's amazing. So this is our first courtyard is all public. It is open to everyone. And we have a library, game room, fitness center,
library
dining
there, right?
room, children's room. This is all open to the locals as well.
You have a library
Yes,
there,
we have a
right?
wonderful library.
Wow, let's take a look. Oh,
Please go in.
thank you.
I'll turn on the light.
Yes. Wow.
And all we collect here are books about Yunnan history, minority culture, Chinese history. So this is how I want to define, this is how I believe we should define luxury and travel. Luxury should not solely be the hardware. Luxury should also be how much can we learn when we experience, when we travel. If we
Exactly.
just want luxury, don't leave your apartment. Don't leave your house. It's easier.
Yes.
But if you want something different, go out there and travel and challenge yourself. And this is what we've always tried to do.
So your guests can read here, right?
And the whole village can read here and use the books.
So, and you employ quite a few local villagers.
Yeah,
right, to work here.
before COVID in Xizhou, we had about 80 staff.
80?
80,
Wow.
and mostly just local.
So, so local people are also benefiting from your project.
Yes, and but we also do many special education programs here, and the local students can join for free.
Okay.
So if we do a music retreat, a movie making retreat, the participants have to pay 20,000 renminbi for 2 weeks. The local students can participate for free.
Wow.
So the second courtyard too this has 8 guest rooms here. This whole courtyard has 16 guest rooms.
16.
16.
Wow.
We raised our family here. This is where my wife and my 2 boys were raised.
Oh, really?
So we lived in a hotel room for 11 years. And we homeschooled our
So
boys.
your children also grow up here,
They
right?
grew up in this room right up here. We lived upstairs there. So, yeah, and we homeschooled our boys every day. Hey, 你们好. Hey, 蔡一摸.
So you're welcoming visitors from different parts of the world, right?
Yeah, we have every day to our first courtyard, maybe 1,500 people a day. And I probably take photos and interact with maybe 200 people a day. But it's exciting and it's so charming. This is where I want the world to see that there is still so much warmth from the Chinese people, you know, and it's so special. And we need to be sharing these stories still with the outside world.
Yeah.
So we can go up. I want to show you our terrace here. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, hello. So this is a
Great
beautiful
view.
place to
Yes.
just come up and relax and
Yeah, let's take a break here. Wow. So 20 years on, you are still in love with this place. Right?
yeah, you know, originally I had that mission of going out and just trying to tell China's story to the outside world. I think it's more important now than ever. And so that what I feel is that in some way, that is what the rest of my life will be. I will be committed to that.
As a like culture ambassador.
I
To
would
bridge understandings
exactly.
between different cultures.
And I just gave lectures in America, in Japan, in South Korea, and they were so warmly received.
Wow.
I'm talking about China. I'm praising China, and I expected some people to say, "Oh, no, 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 no." Everybody said, "We understand," and they really respected me for trying to share, because it could have been a little difficult at this time, where maybe some Americans would say, "Oh, you're just lying." No, I didn't have that happen, and that was really nice because I was a little worried about that. But I think we have to have more people doing this, you know, and.
Yes, that's important.
Whoa, no!
Speaking of Dali, while touring Dali, one must-see site would be the iconic Erhai Lake, right?
Yes.
It's beautiful and it plays a very important role for local people.
Yes.
So during the holiday, we noticed that many people just choose to cycle around the lake, or
Yes.
just sit by the lake to appreciate the natural beauty, enjoying the leisurely time. Earlier, we prepared a short video to show the beautiful lake and how people spend their time by the lakeside. Let's take a look. Wow, what a view. Yeah, the Jinghao Lake is really
special.
Yeah, special. And we know that over the past few years, the local government has made enormous effort to protect the once polluted Jinghao Lake. So from your observation, what has changed in recent years?
Well, I think for visitors, a remarkable thing is that now the lake is all accessible. Before, it was so much of the lake was not accessible. There were private homes, and the government has now made the whole side of the lake open. You can just ride your bicycle around this lake. It's incredible. It's an international or even exceeding international standard kind of bike riding and hiking trail. But the lake itself has also improved. I mean, there were times 15 years ago when I wanted to just jump in the lake. I wanted to go swimming, but it just was not very inviting because of the algae, because of all the... So you would have had to walk through 10 meters of algae in some places. That has all disappeared. And yeah, I think that this is a remarkable story. And I don't know, it's real. I mean, you can see it, see the difference, and this is something that I feel is so important.
And I know I learned that during the past few years, over about 1,800 households have been relocated.
Yes, from
the lakeside.
And the government has built them new homes, very, very nice homes. Some of them just west of here in Xizhou. And yeah, they built them new homes, and they were able to have such an upgrade in terms of living. The homes are very, very special, very nice.
Yeah, some people would say that this has actually have an impact on local people's lives, because local villagers cannot fish in the lake, right? They cannot grow vegetables near the lake. But I think personally, in the long run, I think this will be conducive to the tourism development.
I think that sometimes you need somebody who can make a decision for the best of the long run, in the long run. And I believe that the money you see now walking through the streets here is just exceeds anything that before one knew of land, they could not survive on that.
Yes.
So what I think now is everybody can make a living from this booming tourism. And I see so many young people now staying in the villages because they can probably have a better life here than they could.
Yeah, that's important.
So important.
Because China is right now pushing forward the so-called rural revitalization strategy. I think an important factor for this is that you have to have many young talents, right?
You do.
Yeah.
You do. And I believe that now you're starting to see the opportunities. All these people, as we just walked through the village, if you saw, many of the shop owners are younger.
Yeah.
They're younger. And this is exciting. And many of them have studied it. Many of the local people send their children to universities around China. This is remarkable, especially for someone who didn't have that opportunity. My family would never add money to send me to school. So I see that, and they work so hard to get their children there. And then their children are coming back.
Yeah.
Before, there was no work for them. There was no way they could raise their family next to their grandparents. Now they are coming back.
Yeah. This is a new trend, I think, because in the past, years ago, it's easy to find that many villages, there are only elderly people and children.
Yes.
Because young people were trying to look for opportunities in big cities.
Yes.
But today, young people are coming back to rural.
Every single destination, tourist destination. So I find that now, how do we make this sustainable, through other villages? And maybe other villages that aren't tourist destinations. And I think that what we're seeing is that even those villages are starting to have some of the crossover from here affecting them, and people are coming back because this is only 10 miles from their home. So this is really special.
Yeah. So personally, what's your future plan?
Well, I would love to stay here. I mean, I
Stay
would
here?
love to stay in China forever. I've, committed my life to this country, and I would love to stay here. And I encourage any of our viewers to feel China is as inviting and as exciting as ever to come and visit. I don't want to leave. I will never leave. So I want people to see that. And I do believe China is open for business. We have so many opportunities to expand right now.
Yeah, I know that you just spent several months back home in the States, right?
Yeah.
And also visited some other countries. And
Yeah, I mean, just think at my age, I'm now, I don't want to say anything, but at my age, many people would start saying maybe you should look to retire or something. I'm not going to retire. China makes me feel forever young, and it gives me there's so many opportunities.
I know that you are still spending a lot of time in your projects, right?
Yes.
In different places across China.
And writing books,
Yeah,
my
writing
new book
books.
came out
And it
this
just-
year. And
Yeah, published a book earlier this year, right?
So
About
that book
your-
has done really well. And so I will be attending the Boao conference later this month. And I just see a lot of people interested in this kind of model. How maybe could Yunnan help with Xiangcun
Yeah.
Jianxin? And this would be our honor to
Yeah.
continue to grow this.
So, and what's your expectation for the future of Xizhou?
I
Yeah.
think that sooner or later we're going to have to kind of come up with a way to balance the number of people, and because right now it's starting to get where it's almost too many people. Maybe in the future there will be a 门票. Maybe in the future they will change every day how many people can come in. I don't know, but yeah, it's been so successful. And I think that success may be overwhelming and could damage the long-term attractiveness of Xizhou.
Right. Okay, dear friends, today we'll just show you around the beautiful town of Xizhou and sharing with you the beautiful landscape and old traditions by ethnic group, and of course the story of our special guest Brian Linden.
Well, it's been an
Very
honor.
exciting story. That's our great honor. Yeah, and the holidays is coming to an end. The National Day holiday is coming to an end, and if you are interested in the city of Dali and the ancient town of Xizhou, yeah, just why not come here to experience. There are a lot more to experience, to see, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's so much to see. And
Yeah,
we
there's
are
so-
always here, welcome. We're ready to welcome anyone.
Yeah.
So please come visit us.
Okay, that's what we have for today's live stream. I'll see you next time.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Yuan Lao.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, thank you.
you.